The Woman Under the Bridge. It was one of those nights where even the rain felt alive, slapping the windshield like it was trying to warn me. Midnight, the kind of darkness that swallows headlights whole. The road shimmered beneath the storm, long and empty, and my wipers were the only heartbeat breaking the silence. I'd taken the back road to save time, the one that cut through the old bridge outside town. Locals called it Devil's Crossing. I called it a shortcut. The air inside the car was heavy, warm with the faint smell of coffee gone cold. I'd been driving for hours, eyelids tugging at sleep. You know that kind of exhaustion where the lines on the road start to drift together like your brain's playing tricks? That's where I was. Just a man trying to make it home before his mind started slipping into dreams. But then, headlights caught movement. A flicker of white against the drenched asphalt. I eased off the gas, squinting through the downpour. There she was, a woman standing beneath the bridge, soaked, barefoot, her hair plastered to her face like dark weeds from a riverbed. She was waving, slow, desperate, deliberate. I remember my stomach tightening, that primal kind of fear that comes before logic catches up. Still, I pulled over. Maybe it was guilt, maybe curiosity, or maybe something else, something that felt like compulsion. The rain softened for a moment, as if the world was holding its breath. She took one step forward, close enough that I could see her eyes, wide, unblinking, the kind of eyes that look through you, not at you. Then she whispered, voice trembling, "Please, my baby." And that's when I made the mistake. I rolled down the window. Hook line. I should have never rolled down that window. She led me under the bridge, barefoot, dripping, her dress clinging to her like it was part of her skin. The rain had slowed to a mist, but it was enough to keep the world blurred, like a half-remembered dream you can't shake off. I kept asking where her baby was, my voice catching somewhere between concern and dread. She didn't answer. She just kept walking, slow, measured, each step sinking softly into the wet earth. Her hair hung over her face, heavy and black, and I couldn't tell if she was crying or if the rain had made her that way. The air under the bridge felt wrong, colder, denser, like the night itself was holding its breath. Then she stopped. We were standing in the hollow belly of the bridge, where the concrete walls met the riverbank. That's when she lifted her arm, a pale, trembling hand pointing into the darkness. I followed the line of her finger. There it was, a crib. Small, wooden, half-sunk in mud, its legs rotted and eaten away. A filthy blanket lay inside, hardened with dirt and something darker. I took one step closer, the smell hitting me first, damp wood, mold, and under it, something sour, metallic. My flashlight beam quivered as I reached out to touch the blanket. Then the light flickered. I turned to ask her what happened, but she was gone. No sound of movement, no splashes in the puddles, just the steady hiss of rain against concrete and the slow, creeping realization that I was completely alone. Hello? My voice cracked. It came back to me, echoing off the walls, hollow and thin. I backed away, my boots slipping in the mud, heart slamming so loud it almost drowned out the storm. I stumbled into the open, the rain colder now, harsher, like it wanted me gone. I sprinted to my car, slid into the driver's seat, and slammed the lock. My chest heaved, my hands shook. I tried to laugh. Maybe I'd imagined her. Maybe I'd fallen asleep behind the wheel, dreamed the whole damn thing. Then I saw it. The rearview mirror had fogged up from the inside, and right through the mist, one word appeared, written in a trembling hand. Where? She was in the back seat. I froze. My breath hitched. Every instinct told me not to look, but I did. Slowly, she was sitting in the back seat, soaking wet, hair hanging over her face, strands clinging to her cheeks, water pooled around her feet, soaking into the carpet. The smell hit me first, earth, rot, and something like rust. Her skin was pale as candle wax, and her eyes, hollow, dark, the kind you don't meet without feeling something inside you start to unravel. Her lips parted. When she spoke, her voice didn't sound human anymore. It came out like water bubbling through a drain. You left him there. The words didn't make sense. I stammered something, anything, but my throat wouldn't work. She tilted her head, a slow, unnatural tilt, like a puppet tugged by invisible strings. Her hand moved across the seat, pale fingers dragging mud across the leather. That was when I screamed. I kicked the door open and spilled out into the storm, boots slamming against the wet asphalt. The rain lashed at my face like needles. I turned back toward the car. The headlights flickered, throwing light across the bridge. Through the glass, I saw her shadow move, slow, graceful, like she was floating instead of walking. Then the lights blinked out. Total blackness. The wind howled under the bridge, the sound warping into what almost sounded like crying. I stumbled backward, calling out, "Where's your baby? What do you want from me?" No answer. Just the storm. Just the emptiness pressing in. I spun in every direction, but it was like the world had folded in on itself. Endless water, no road, no horizon. And then lightning struck. For one blinding instant, the bridge lit up like bone. And there she was, standing on top of it, holding something small, a bundle. It looked soft, fragile, wrapped in the same filthy blanket I'd seen in the crib. She turned her face toward me, and even from that distance, I could see her mouth move. One word, "Remember." Then she stepped off the bridge, quietly, almost peacefully, and vanished into the roaring river below. The rain stopped, the world went silent, and I realized my engine was still running. The river took everything. I don't remember running. I don't even remember the drive back. Just flashes, headlights cutting through rain, my reflection warping in the rear view, something pale shifting behind me that I refused to look at. When I came to, the world was still gray. Morning light, thin, sickly. I was in my driveway. The car engine was still ticking, faintly hissing from the rain. My shoes were caked in mud. The driver's seat was soaked, as if I'd climbed out of a river. Inside the house, everything felt foreign. My walls, my furniture, even the silence had weight to it, like it was watching me breathe. I stripped off my clothes, threw them in the sink, and just stared at my hands. Mud under every nail, bruises around my wrists I didn't remember getting. The phone rang. I jumped so hard I nearly slipped. It was the local news, playing on the old landline radio beside it. Some cheery morning anchor cutting through static. Authorities have discovered an abandoned vehicle beneath the old bridge early this morning. The car's doors were locked from the inside. Engine still running. No sign of the driver. The words sank through me like ice water. They didn't give the license plate, but I didn't need to hear it. My heart already knew. I told myself it wasn't my car. It couldn't be. Maybe someone else took that cursed road. Maybe someone else saw her, but denial's a thin blanket against a storm like that. I went to the window, looked out toward the garage. The door was open, empty. The world went quiet again, except for the faint gurgle of drains like water whispering through pipes. My stomach turned. I could smell the river, faint but real, seeping through the cracks of the house. That night I dreamed of her. The bridge, the mud, the bundle. But this time, when she turned toward me, she was smiling, and the thing in her arms wasn't wrapped anymore. When I woke, my pillow was damp, like rain had fallen through the ceiling, and on the window pane beside my bed, someone had written a single word in dripping letters: home. The reflection in the rear view. Now every time I drive past that bridge, I see her. Not clearly, just shapes, flashes of white where there shouldn't be. Sometimes she's in the reflection of the rearview mirror, standing just far enough back that you can't see her face. Sometimes she's by the guardrail, head bowed, rain streaming through her hair like it's still trying to wash something clean that can't be washed. People say a woman drowned there 20 years ago, trying to save her baby after her husband drove off the bridge drunk. They pulled the car out 2 days later, but never found the child. Locals still talk about how on stormy nights, you can hear her crying near the river, begging anyone who passes to help find her baby. I used to think it was folklore, the kind of story you tell to keep teenagers off back roads. But now I know better. She wasn't looking for help, she was looking for him. And that night, in the storm, when I stopped, she thought she'd found him. Maybe that's why she let me go. Or maybe I didn't really leave at all. Sometimes when I check the mirror, I still see the backseat fog over, faint and slow, like someone's breathing there. Sometimes I hear her whisper, soft, familiar, "Please, my baby." And every time it rains, I keep my eyes on the road. I don't stop. I don't look. Because I've learned something most people never will. Some cries for help aren't meant to be answered. So now I take the long way home. And when the rain starts falling hard, I keep driving. Because if you ever see her, don't roll down the window. If you enjoyed The Woman Under the Bridge, remember, your support helps this channel grow and keeps these stories alive. Hit the like button to help more listeners discover this series, subscribe for daily storytelling that keeps you on edge, and share this video with someone who loves a good scare. Thank you for listening and watching. There's another story waiting for you on your screen right now. Trust me, it's one you don't want to miss. I'll see you back here tomorrow.